certain kind of priest who says all of you are lazy, or all of you, God has damned you because you're sinners, and that's why you're poor and you're out there, you have extramarital sex, you drugs, drink, whatever, and you're sitting there going, oh my God, I'm a sinner. So you develop what Gramsci called a contradictory consciousness. So I feel like when these polls ask people, do you believe this? Do you believe that? There's a kind of way in which polls don't allow for the contradictoriness of working class consciousness. So people, for instance, may be told by Bolsonaro's son, that this is a Chinese virus, this is a Chinese virus, this is a Chinese virus. They know it's not a Chinese virus, They know that there are other viruses and no virus has a nationality. They may know that, but they also have this in their head. And a pollster asks, is this a Chinese virus, is the question. And they say, yes, it's a Chinese virus because it's in the air. So I don't actually want to make a comment saying, people are irrational, or people are this, or people are that. I actually think people are contradictory. If I didn't believe people were contradictory, then let's hang it up, fellas. Let's go back and let me pick up my guitar and sing you a song, and let's call it quits, Let's not bother with all this politics, because, people are like this, Lenin Moreno the other day was criticized about his presidency, and he said, well, it may not be a problem of my presidency. It may be a problem of the Ecuadorian people. And I thought, my God, Mr. Moreno, you're so arrogant. You're so arrogant. So I actually, when I say, I don't believe that people believe in conspiracies, full stop. I think that conspiratorial thinking floats around the air. It comes from different places, and people sort of pick things up in a way that's casual. It's not like, they hear this China virus and then they sit down and say, yes, it's the China virus. I think what happens is it's floating around and people pick something up and they pick up an idea of laziness. People are lazy, but then they know they work hard, or they pick up an idea of sin. I'm a sinner. But then they're like, I'm a sinner, but I really do like to, I enjoy sex and oh my God, and I use contraception, and that's a sin in the eyes of the Catholic Church, but I don't want to have any more children. So I'm both, I like sex and I use it, and this is a contradictory relationship to reality. So I want us to sort of not say that, there are conspiracies, full stop, but there are these conspiratorial thoughts that exist, and we have to confront them. Part of Media Ninja, part of the work I do as a journalist, our work is to insist in a different orientation of reality, and without being arrogant towards people's various attitudes. We should not have a position of arrogance saying you're wrong, or this is stupid or whatever. No, it's the way in which human history deals with knowledge. I came from a family, just to tell you, that none of my parents went to college. They were very intelligent people, and they had a lot of books in the house, but they were random books. There was an set of encyclopedia, then there was like some semi-pornographic novel, then there was some book that looked like some sort of pro-Nazi World War II book. I don't know where it came from, some footpath sale. Nobody read those books. My dad, when I was a certain age, used to make me read him the encyclopedia every day. So I'd have to take it down in the evening, and he'd drink his tea or he'd drink his booze, and I'd read him from the encyclopedia. My parents had all kinds of odd duck ideas. When I finished college, my parents came for the graduation. Okay, they were very proud of me. Their son has graduated from college. I had a teacher there who taught me history of Asia and so on. And my father proceeded to lecture him about Japan, because my father had been to Japan many times, and, he liked Japan a lot, but he was lecturing him all kinds of crazy ideas. I was embarrassed as a young boy. I was embarrassed of my father, who I love a lot. I love my father like life itself, and I didn't like the teacher as much as I loved my father, but I was embarrassed for my father. And it took me years to understand how much I loved my father. And even in that moment, my father was right, because my father was telling the teacher, don't look at me as a fool. I know something about something. I've been to Japan. Okay. I may be saying things all wrong in your eyes, but what I'm saying is also true. What I'm saying is true because I believe it. And if I had had time to study and learn and read more, I might have developed my ideas. So I think that's what I mean, Vanessa. I look at the world when we see these kind of polls, and I think it's very unfair because the poll is making fun of my family. It's making fun of people I love who have all kinds of odd ideas. So our attitude to that has to be, how do we take the ideas of people and elaborate it into a different set of ideas? How do we let's go and interrogate, why are people believing it's the China virus? Why are people believing it? Not how dare you believe that it's a China virus. You see, that's what I'm trying to say, is we shouldn't look to our class, to the working class peasantry, take a view. How dare you believe these crazy things? You see, how dare you fall for evangelism or Pentecostalism? How dare you do this? That should not be our attitude as media, as idea producers and so on. Our attitude should be, yes, you go for Pentecostal because you want to learn to play the guitar. And in Brazil, there is no other place to learn music except these places. And while you're there, you hear things, and some of them may attract you. Now, how do I give you something better than that instead of me telling you you're an idiot? So that's what. Sometimes these polls are very bad. They have a class bias to them.